Maybe you've thought about how the moon's changing shape each night correlates with the tides. The science behind moon tides is fascinating, and in this video, we'll learn all about it. Observe the changing phases of the moon and gain an understanding of their astronomical manifestations. Come explore the moon with us and find out more about our nearest celestial neighbor. Moon tides, caused by the pull of the moon's gravity as it orbits the Earth, are one of nature's most fascinating phenomena. The oceans and other large bodies of water that carve the surface of the planet are also impacted by this pull. When the Earth rotates on its axis, the centrifugal force created by the Earth's rotation causes the ocean water to bulge on both the side facing the moon and the opposite side. Tides occur because different parts of the Earth's surface move into and out of these bulges as the Earth rotates on its axis. Tides are caused by the moon's and Earth's gravitational pulls, and there are two main kinds: fluctuating tides. The ocean's surface is pulled higher during high tide as a result of the moon's gravitational pull, and lower during low tide. The tidal range describes the difference between high tide and low tide and varies as the ocean is drawn away from the moon. Different coastal regions experience different tidal ranges, with some experiencing a range of several meters between high and low tide due to the moon's position and orbit around the Earth, while other regions experience a much smaller range due to the moon's direct gravitational effects. The moon's orbit around the Earth also affects the timing of the tides. To realign with the moon at the same location on Earth as the Earth rotates takes slightly longer than 24 hours each day. This results in a daily advance of about 50 minutes for high and low tides as the moon moves around the Earth in its orbit. Most coastal areas experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides every 24 hours and 50 minutes due to the tide's semi-diurnal pattern. Tides are influenced by the angular separation between the Earth and Moon. Due to the elliptical shape of the Moon's orbit around Earth, the Moon's distance from the planet varies as it travels around the system. High tides are higher and low tides are lower at perigee because the Earth's gravitational force is greater at this time. High tides are lower and low tides are higher when the Moon is at its farthest point from Earth, known as apogee. The term, tidal force, is used to describe the ebb and flow of tides as they are affected by the Moon's orbit around the Earth. The phenomenon of moon tides is fascinating to observe and is important knowledge for anyone with an appreciation for nature or the stars. The intricate workings of our planet in the larger universe can be better understood by observing and comprehending the complex interplay of gravitational forces between the Earth and the Moon. The Moon, like the Sun, rises in the east and sets in the west, so we can watch it go through its phases as it travels across the sky. However, because the Moon's orbit is slightly skewed in relation to Earth's, the times at which it rises and sets vary depending on the Moon's phase and your location on the planet. The beautiful celestial dance that the Moon performs each month as it moves through the sky and affects the tides on Earth can be observed by anyone with a clear view of the sky. For instance, during the new moon phase, the Moon is nearly perpendicular to the Sun, rising at roughly the same time as the Sun. On the other hand, when the Moon is in its full phase, it rises nearly perpendicular to the Sun. The Moon is visible throughout the night because it rises at dusk and sets at dawn. It's easier to spot the Moon in its first and third quarter phases. As the Moon goes through its monthly cycle, we can follow its progression by noting the shifts in its position in the sky that occur around sunset and sunrise. Those who are curious about the stars or just want to feel more at one with nature may find this activity fascinating. Recognizing the Moon's phases can help people avoid dangerous situations, and it can also be a rewarding and educational experience to observe the Moon's phases and learn how they affect our daily lives, such as the tides. Recognize the significance of these astronomical occurrences to human culture, from ancient civilizations that based their calendars on lunar cycles to contemporary idioms and expressions that refer to the Moon in its various phases. The Moon's position in relation to the Earth and the Sun causes its phases, which cause the Moon's appearance to change from full to half and back again. The Moon's phases are caused by the Sun shining on different parts of its surface at different times during its orbit around Earth. New moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent are the 8 major phases of the Moon as seen from Earth throughout the lunar cycle of 29.5 days. The new moon occurs when the moon is in its occultation between the Earth and the Sun, and is thus not visible from Earth. Waxing crescent begins when a crescent-shaped portion of the moon's lit side is visible as it travels around the Earth. Until the moon reaches its first quarter phase, where exactly half of the visible side is lit up, this illuminated portion will continue to grow. More than half, but less than the entire, visible side is illuminated during the subsequent waxing gibbous phase. A full moon occurs when Earth is between the moon and the Sun, causing the entire moon's illuminated side to be seen. After the full moon, the moon's illuminated portion begins to diminish, ushering in the third and final phase known as the waning gibbous. The next phase is called the quarter, and it is similar to the first quarter in that half of the visible side is illuminated, while the other half is in shadow. At last, the moon enters its final phase, the waning crescent, when only a tiny fraction of its illuminated side is visible before the cycle begins again with the new moon. The dynamic relationship between the Earth, Moon, and Sun is on full display in the Moon's ever-changing phases. For thousands of years, the phases of the Moon have played a significant role in human society. The lunar cycle was the basis for the calendars of many ancient cultures, and it continues to play a role in modern celebrations of religious and cultural significance. Many legends revolve around the Moon's phases as it grows fuller and then fades away. Observations of the Moon's phases and its effects on tides have helped advance human knowledge of celestial mechanics, gravity, and the cosmos at large. The Moon's ephemeral nature has also been instrumental in medical research. Amateur astronomers and skygazers often find the Moon to be an enthralling object of study. The Moon's phases can be seen with the naked eye or a cheap pair of binoculars, allowing us to marvel at the celestial ballet that controls our lives. Learning more about the Moon's phases and how they affect the tides on Earth helps us appreciate the fine balance of forces that shape our world beyond our solar system. The daily rise and fall of ocean tides, and how they are caused by gravitational forces between the Earth and the Moon. I've taught you how to observe the Moon's phases, and I hope you've learned that the Moon's position in relation to the Earth and the Sun causes its appearance to change from full to half and back again.